This is ZNN with Jamie Cooper.
Brought to you by the Coleman Dental Group.
All right, let me do a little bit of news this morning. I know the great legislators down in Montgomery are now giving teachers' pay hike falls to 1% only. The proposed pay raise for Alabama K-12 school employees kept shrinking the longer the legislators stayed in session. Governor Bentley had proposed a 2.5% raise. Now it's down to 1%. Over in Decatur, they are trying to abolish, that means quit, paddling. Now, it says here, school board will vote on issue in May. A group of administrators led by school safety supervisors said that Decatur City schools need to eliminate corporate punishment. The board will vote next month, called a very controversial practice. Okay, all of last year, I think they paddled 3 students in the entire school year.
Corporate punishment?
Corporate punishment. Now, speaking from experience with paddling, who in this room ain't never got a paddling in school, Frank?
Me.
That's because you skipped most of your classes. Frank, did you ever get a paddling? Several.
First day of school in the first grade.
Zach?
All I did
Is that
was
after
say,
your dog got electrocuted?
we were first day of school, first grade.
Boy.
We were in line, and the teacher said something about not talking. I said one little word. It's Coach Hammonds. He pulled me out and gave me a whooping. My mama was up at the school within no time.
Is that the only paddling you ever got?
No, it wouldn't. I got one 12th grade when we started.
So you went 11 years without getting one.
You got paddled as a senior?
You got a let's back up. Let's back up a little. You got a paddling in the first grade on the first day of school. And then you wait 11 years, and then and you're a senior, you get a paddle.
I don't think I got one. Then we had a little food fight. You know how seniors like to stir stuff up, so we got it. Freshmen complained on us. I was an office assistant the next period. They wanted me to tell on everybody I wouldn't do it.
So you ain't no snitch?
I stayed true. I was no snitch. So I took the paddlings for my buddies.
So you took one for the team?
I took one for the team.
Oh, Zach.
I could have went to detention or paddlings. Who wants to sit in detention hall? You're fixing to graduate and sit in detention. I was like, give me the whoop, give me the. But old Coach T. Jackson, buddy, he could lay some licks.
I'm a big believer, and we ought to be beating our kids more.
Not beating them.
Well,
not beat them, but I think you do.
I'm talking about beat them the way they used to beat us.
Spanking them.
Now,
No.
did I deserve it? You dang right I did.
Oh, look how
You want to spank me tonight? I mean, really, come on. It'd be like old times.
No, I don't.
Matter of fact, I ran into a guy at Clark's Feed and Seed Hardware yesterday. I went to high school with, who he just did some work for my old principal, who spanked me and expelled me in one day.
He did?
No,
How about that?
I had to get a spanking to get back in school because I got in a fight at school. I never won a fight except one. I beat the drum major up. She didn't care. Oh, that's right. He was a guy. That's right. His old head, he had a head size of a basketball. You met his mama, P.O. English. I said, you still alive?
She's like, you haven't.
She ain't
changed a
now,
bit.
so I can say something about her. But anyway, let me move on. Paddling will be abolished. My old buddy Ray Stillman said he held the record for paddlings at Butler High School.
He liked to spank children.
Well, no, he just said they needed it. And then people go, you're not going to hit my kid. Well, how about hitting your kid at home? He wouldn't be getting in trouble when they got to school. That's what's wrong with kids today.
Well, usually if you got in trouble at school, you got in trouble when you got home.
Yeah, because if I found I got a whipping to school, my daddy, he wasn't going to use no paddle. He's going to use a belt. We talked about that yesterday with John Dees. Our minister was up here. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. All right, also talk about this. Senate okays drug testing welfare recipients. About time. The Alabama Senate is calling for drug testing for welfare recipients with a history of using illegal drugs. But it says here it will not affect food stamps. We'll talk more about that later as we go. Hey, don't get us. Gloria just mentioned the car show is on for this weekend, the annual car show downtown. Lacey, you may have played there before. I know they have all kind of entertainment. They'll be playing this weekend. 70% chance of rain. We'll keep y'all posted on that. And a little bit of here on the images of the bombing suspect, the one that lived, the younger brother. Said here, friends, a classmate of Dashar Tisha can't grasp how the pot-smoking party boy they knew is the same young man accused of carrying out a terrorist attack. His mama still don't believe it.
I'm sure.
That's crazy. Yeah, your sons are throwing bombs out the windows at the cops. No, they didn't do nothing wrong. Give me a break.
All right, Zach, here's a story that you can't relate to much because you're not a teenager anymore, even though you took one for the team. USA Today this morning, a quarter of teens say they drive while either under the influence of prescription drugs, smoking pot, or drinking. Nearly a quarter of teens admit to driving under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, prescription drugs used illegally at some point. What's worser, they don't view themselves as a danger. As a fact, 20% of them say they drink and drive, and smoking, say it improves their image. Improves their driving ability.
Yeah.
There's a smart one for you. Oh, I drive better when I've been drinking. Well, after it costs you about 20 grand in the DUI, you'll quit that. All right, Zach, let's go to a bigger story happening right now. Let's talk about Rolando McClain, who got arrested again in Decatur over the weekend. According to the Madison Weekly, Bob Labby, give you a shout out this morning. He says they got the wrong guy when they arrested him Sunday night for shouting F you to the Decatur Police Department.
Of course. He doesn't use that kind of language.
How? It's about, everybody said, well, he needs to stay out of Decatur. Orlando, you're 23. You're old enough to know better. Stay away from stuff like that to get you in trouble. It's not Decatur that's your problem. It's you that's the problem.
To quote,
you need to work on yourself. You're a millionaire. You need to work on it. Stay out of Decatur, but stay away from the crowd that's causing you that trouble.
The editorial comments made on this program by people other than me or Gloria are not those necessarily of management or station ownership, which happens to be us.
That's just my opinion. Orlando, you're a great ball player. Get your act together, because Ozzie Newsome is giving you an awesome opportunity to play for the world champions.
The Madison Weekly website, to quote Rolando, who bought a $1 million house right next to our church, I was at the park just to try and calm down my family member, and I ended up getting arrested. Someone had spit on my brother's car.
Get over it.
Who cares? Somebody spits on my car.
Who cares?
I peed on yours. The tires the other day. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, you stopped.
It was dark outside. I didn't know who it was.
I knew something looked funny when I got up the next morning.
So he says, but as far as being able to see his lips move when you say, no, you can't, that's according to the police officer. So, he's just, Lacey, can you hold down the laughter, please? I'm trying to work here. You don't hear me laughing while you're singing, do you? All right. So the week he went to the park to keep his brother out of trouble, and some guys spit on his car and harassed him.
So honorable, huh?
I agree with Zach. Why go back to where you came from?
He's got that nice house in Madison. If he wants to have a bunch of folks over, come over to his house. Don't go to a park in Decatur and start. Even if he didn't say that, if he didn't, still, they get mad because somebody spit on his brother's car. Come on.
700 people were in that park.
So that's a lot of people.
They just picked him out.
From a softball game, man. There was a lot of people watching that softball game.
700 people at a park. Lacey, you should have been over there entertaining, man. That'd have been a good crowd.
I don't think
Me and Bobby could have passed the hat over there.
I don't think Lacey wanted to be in that crowd.
What about Ardmore getting a new gym?
There's talk about it.
No, it's here. I'm fixing to read it to you.
Okay.
Within a few years, Ardmore High School could tangle on hardwood in nearly a 2,000-seat gymnasium. Ardmore's the 24th largest member among 64 Class 4A schools. Daily attendance of 383 high school students. According to their new football coach. I'm making that part up. What part will you play on the team this year, Zach?
Whatever he wants.
I told him, I said, probably just team chaplain. I say the prayer before the game.
All right, Zach, what else you got? Well, it's all about you today.
Well, a lot of people, talking about Alabama basketball with Trevor Lacey leaving.
Why did he leave?
That's big news. I heard that he was just unhappy with, the style of offense Coach Grant runs. But, he had to know that when he was being recruited. He was the only one that started every game for Alabama. So, it's a big loss, especially when it's a local kid like that leaving. So, you wondering, is there a problem players getting disgruntled, or is there a coaching issue? Maybe Coach Battle might need to look into talking to Coach Grant.
Well, let's talk about some words of wisdom, unless you got something else right quick.
Okay. I'm going to give you one.
Zach's our motivational speaker and kind of on-site minister.
I got a couple. I don't know about this.
You've hurt your image today.
What?
You got a Padlet on the first day of school in the first grade. Back then, they didn't have kindergarten. So did you go to the same school 12 years?
Not the same school.
I went to the same school 12 years or longer. The 3 years me and my daddy were in 8th grade together don't count.
Well,
he could drive.
Well, I've been out of high school for a long time. It was funny. Let me tell you something real quick. I was at Captain D's last night, and they had the menu right there, and I was joking. It said,
they give you a free meal because
said senior menu at 50. I said, well, in a few months I'll be 50. The guy at the counter said, go ahead and order off of it. So I'm like, is that what I got to look forward to, getting free discounts?
Even though they don't advertise with us, they should. I'm going to tell you, they do have a good crowd down there for that senior menu. What'd you have, Zach?
What I have? Fish dinner. Okay.
No kidding, you're at Captain D's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to. Yeah. I mean, that makes
two-piece
sense.
fish. So, all right, I'm going to give you words of wisdom from Phil Robertson. A lot of people know him as the father on Duck Dynasty.
I've never seen
He
it.
says, that's a great show. I'm going to tell anybody. I'd never watched it until this year. That's the best entertainment you're going to get watching
Besides
Duck
this
Dynasty.
program.
And besides,
One of these days, I'll be
besides Cooper and
nationwide.
Company, this is the second best reality show. Y'all are still
Don't
on
make a
board.
quack out of this guy.
If you can find a nice, pretty country girl that can cook and carries her Bible, now there's a woman.
Oh, wow.
So that's
only
Boy,
I
hey,
could.
I don't care if they can cook or what. I don't even care if they can
Well.
read. I just want to know what they look like.
well, okay.
Huh?
Okay, I got another one. Okay, the one who cares about you will never leave you, even if there are 100 reasons to give up. They will always find a reason to hold on.
Is that you?
It ain't me.
I got one more, Jamie. No matter how good or life you think life is, wake up each day and be thankful for life and everything the Lord has blessed you with.
These words have been brought to you by Zach. Way to go, Zach. Roll Tide, buddy.
Roll Tide, buddy.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to hear from Lace. I'm not going to do words of wisdom this morning. I'll just
Oh,
go
come
along with
on.
Zach. Hope your mama gets better.
I
had the
appreciate
fish
it. Thank
dinner.
y'all.
You had the fish dinner at Zach Captain D's?
Yeah. Thanks, Gloria. What are you keeping on?
That's funny.
I mean, you can get chicken. You
Zach,
can get other
what would
things
it
at
take for you-
Captain
Let me
D's.
ask you one last one. What would it take for you to get a spanking again?
I'm not planning on getting one.
Not.
We'll take a break and be right back. We'll hear more from Lacey Snyder in just a moment. Y'all hang on.